Afternoon, everyone. How y'all doing? Blessings, love. My name is Robert, and we have the lovely,
Hi, I'm Kiki.
I am Denise.
and we are definitely Magnificent Wellness. Welcome to the Wellness Lounge. We're grown folks are here to have conversations, and it's just a grown folks vibe. So, today we're actually going to discuss the idea of emotional control. Um, this has been a topic that I've really honestly been crossing my mind a lot lately because of, human behavior or just the current situations that are happening in the news now, And I wanted to know if, you guys also felt the same way I felt as far as people are struggling with controlling their emotions in today's society, right? And so, how do you guys feel about that?
Well, I definitely do think there's a lot of individuals that do not practice emotional control. They don't practice control with what they say, how they feel, what they do, and
Yeah. Do you think that sometimes though that mental health sometimes it's a contribution to that a lot of times because they're not aware of their the circumstances because of certain mental health issues that they may not know that they have can also contribute to the emotional unbalance or instability.
I don't think that is mental health all the time. I think we throw the mental health thing around kind of loosely at times, depending on the situation.
Yeah.
I think some people use mental health as a crutch now. I do think that emotional control can also be a culture thing.
Yeah.
It can be your upbringing. It could be the norm within the family. Like, some people just can't be told no. Like, they can't accept the word no.
Oh my gosh, that's a major, and listen, that's something that we're definitely gonna visit in another topic too, because I think that's a very, very important thing. Can we handle the word no? Can we handle rejection? Right? How does it set you off, Denise? How do you feel as far as when you hear no sometimes?
I'm fine because I love telling people no, so I'm okay with it.
That is true. That is true. Take it from my husband. She don't have no problem saying no. You know what I mean? Which no is not a bad thing to say sometimes.
At all.
Sometimes you actually do have to say no. But I was doing some research, and one of the things that I came across is that they said 37% to 44% of males are actually in prison due to their emotional instability.
The ability to regulate their emotions.
Right.
That's a big number.
That's a big number,
It's
right?
a huge number.
It's a huge number, right? And a lot of times in where I work, I work in a homeless population. And a lot of times, and it's a men's facility. So I am dealing with 100% men from various cultures, various circumstances, different, very diverse. So I always call it a melting pot of diversity, right? And, when you're surrounded by predominantly men, you're dealing with a lot of emotions, right? And like what Kiki said, sometimes it's a cultural thing. How do they able to speak to women, how to solve problems, how to solve issues? With your experience, how do you guys feel or deal with those type of circumstances or those type of experiences, especially specifically with men?
And as far as what teaching them like coping skills or when they're told no or how to say no.
I mean interactions, right? It can be not necessarily as far as like a rejection, but just interacting, right? Some people have they have ways of delivering things in a way that it's like, really, do you gotta say it like that, though? Right?
Oh yeah, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Very important.
Right? So here's a twist that I'm gonna throw with this one. How do you handle it as a woman with regulating your emotions when you hear or when you get a response that you're not too keen with or somebody throws you off?
I think
and
for
both
me,
of y'all, by the way.
I think for me, I'm learning how to pause. I think like in my earlier years, I would say I was more reactive. So if you said something I didn't like, I reacted to it because I needed a response back or I needed to have one up on you. Right. I think now if someone says something I don't like, I need to pause and ask myself, why is this affecting me so much? Why is this causing me so much harm? Why is this causing me to be so angry right now? And then let me process that before I actually give you a response. also now I'm really learning that no is a whole sentence. Like it's a complete sentence. It doesn't need an explanation behind it. I said no, and that's that.
Right.
And I know like a lot of times, like I was saying earlier, as far as like the norm and the upbringing is because I think most times we want to quote unquote spoil a child.
Yeah.
And we don't want to tell them no. But then what happens when they become adults and they go into this real world and someone is going to tell them no, how do they accept that when there's rejection?
Right. Right. No, so true. And a lot of times, you know, which is very interesting because that child turns into a young man or a young woman who eventually turns into a grown man or a grown woman. Right. And the level of, you know, and with that growth, they're experiencing different circumstances, different cultures, different issues and things like that. You know, we go through it with our sons. I'm sure you go through it with your son. And I'm sure you guys go through it with your sons and daughters, right? But at the end of the day, it's, are we able to control our emotions as well when it comes to parenting or when it comes to definitely...
Well, as far as control our emotions when it comes to parenting, I'm still working on that. I'm still working on that. I'm taking accountability, okay? Because my son, that's my baby. I love him. I love him so much. But just being able to tell him no when I want to say yes, it's one of those things that's it's difficult for me. But I do it. I do tell him no, and I stick to it. Unlike his father, who would say no, but then turn around and do it anyway. So it's those imbalances that contributes to our son not knowing the word no.
I don't know if anybody else out there or any other parents can actually like relate to this, but you know, sometimes the idea of your child not having something, and you're thinking like, damn. They might try to find other ways of getting it, or you just feel bad.
Don't do that to me. Don't do me like that.
And you feel like, you know what I mean? You just feel like, damn, you know, I don't want my child not to have it.
That's
it. Even though sometimes they don't deserve to have it, but it's kind of like...
You don't want them to go out there and get it.
You want them to go out there and get it.
So if I give it to them, they won't go out there and go seek it out.
So the question should be, us as parents... not being able to tell our children no and mean it, does that contribute to them not having emotional control? That should be the question.
I think it's more broader though than us just saying no, because when I think about the stats that my brother just gave, right? Those stats don't come from just being told no or not, or feeling like you were denied something. It also comes from not having or not being told to say something hurts, not being able to say I'm not happy, not able to say at this moment I just need to cry as a man or as a young boy. And I talk about that as far as in culture, because we normally tell the boys not to cry.
Oh my God,
they're not allowed to cry.
That is such...
But that also goes back to regulating your feelings, because your feelings is having the ability to show emotions. And when I can't cry and say something hurts, I hold it in. But what happens is, as we know, pressure does what? It goes up. And a lot of times we don't know how to direct that anger, and we sometimes direct it at the wrong people, or we act out in ways that we
direct in words. Right? That's majority of it.
Exactly.
Like we know right now there's someone in trouble right now because of someone telling them to suck their or you know, your mother ain't your mother's a you know what I mean? Your father ain't, you know, and a lot of times we're trained like if we hear certain things like that, we're supposed to react.
Yes.
Right? And a lot of times we're supposed to react in a negative way. Right. So I think a lot of that. So it's so interesting that you just said that boys are usually told not to cry, toughen up, be a man. Right. And it's like, what's the definition of being a man? Men cry. Right.
That's right.
We're supposed to cry. We're supposed to express ourselves. But I think a lot of men also too need to just live their truth and just be them. Right. It's okay to cry. It's okay to say I'm hurt. It's okay to not be okay, and express it. But I think also too, we struggle with that because of the pressure that we're placed upon in society as a man.
So true.
Right.
So from the perspective of a female, because, you know, these men, they love to say men. Us females, yes, we are given that freedom, that space to cry. However, are we given that space to say no and mean it?
That's good. You know what? Drink some more water because you're hot right now. I mean,
that was a good one.
Right? Yeah.
That was a good one. Say that again. Drop that again. That was a jewel. I need you to drop that one more time. Yeah, drop that again.
So the question is, from the perspective of females, we are given the space, we are given that opportunity to cry, but are we given that same space to say no?
I don't think so. Especially when it comes to our families. I feel like we can't say no because then it feels like I'm not a good wife. I'm not a good mom. If I say no, I'm not a good daughter. It's like so many different roles and so many hats that we wear within the family that if we say no, we feel like we neglecting. So we don't say no. And in that, we neglect ourselves. So I don't think we allow that same space to say no. And then most of us say yes, and then we go and cry because we tired.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's definitely true.
That's true. You know, that's a good point. That's a really good point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really speechless. And for the first time, I'm actually speechless. But yeah, I think the main thing is, being able to say no and follow through with it and stick to it. I think that's one of our major struggles, not just as parents, but as human beings. Mm-hmm. Because we naturally want to be pleasers. We naturally want to be, individuals that want to make people happy. And if we don't make people happy, then it's kind of like a sense of disappointment. So, and how does that make a person feel if they're going to feel disappointed and not make somebody happy? So, the whole point and the whole idea is, as human beings, what are some things that you think that people need to do or practice more when it comes to balancing emotions or how to react to certain things? For me, learning it as the individual that I am, breathing, right? Try to breathe things out a little bit more. Try to take a deep breath. We all go through it, the sense of patience. You think someone should be capable of knowing something or doing something. And if they don't, we get upset. Because that usually means that, one, we failed, or two, we have to work even harder to correct the issue. So how do we react? Do we blow or do we take a deep breath? And sometimes we want to take a deep breath, but it's not as easy because it took me a long time to actually practice the art of breathing and letting it be something that is actually soothing. Mm-hmm. Right? So for me, I try to take deep breaths, right? I try to just take a moment and just react in a manner that I don't want it to seem like I'm too aggressive. Can't help it. I do it all. I try my best, but there are times that I blow up. Okay, I'm a Gemini, so shout out to the Gems.
Oh, that's the twin.
You know what I mean? Absolutely.
Good and evil. We get it. We get it.
We the best.
Not better than a Virgo, but for me, being a Virgo, we tend to. For me, I'll just go silent on you. I had to learn throughout the years that I need to express how I'm feeling in that moment. If you do something to me or you said something that I didn't like, I would just stop talking to you. And that's it. It's like the world came to an end and we're done. But now I've learned to actually talk it through, to think about it first before saying, you know what, I'm done. Because I'm older now and I can't be doing the same things that I was doing back in my teens and in my 20s. So now it's more of control. I'm still a work in progress, but it's more of a control. And of course, I run to Kiki or I run to Robert and talk to them, and they'll talk me through some times when I'm upset.
Yeah.
So that's how I'm able to maintain or work on my emotional control.
Yeah, and I respect that too, because sometimes the calmest person still needs to be calm also. So it happens. But yeah, go ahead, Kiki.
So for me, because I am the Libra, so this is the perfect right here with these two, right? I'm the Libra, so I try to keep the balance in my life, right? I need peace and I need harmony, and everything needs to feel like it's in sync and aligned. Because if one go like this, I'm completely out of control, right? So for me, how I regulate my emotions is releasing. Meaning letting people, places, and things go. Let it move from my space. If it returns, then it returns back to me. But I'm not forcing and I'm not chasing nothing. So when I release it and it goes, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. Yeah. If it finds its way back, then that's because God allowed it back into my space. So I pray more. I try to go to church. I don't go to church every Sunday, but I do try to go to church when I can. And just having like prayer warriors in your circle is important, right? So when things are feeling unbalanced, if you have those prayer warriors who can intersect and you can pick up the phone and tell them this is what I need and they can jump in for you. Just having those things in my life, I've learned to keep myself balanced, and that's how I regulate my emotions.
That's dope. Dope. I love that. I think that's pretty cool. Like,
that's something.
No, that is very, very true. Like having a prayer warrior, it's a very, very important thing. I'm not gonna lie, because like I said, not everyone knows how to pray. Not everyone sometimes know how to connect faithfully and things like that. So it's always good to have at least one person in your corner that can do that for you, and and give you that sense of peace and that calmness. A lot of people may do reading. A lot of people try to do meditating. Yeah. But meditation is a beautiful thing, but not everyone knows how to do it. Right? So we also got to be careful with saying, hey, just meditate, because not everyone knows how to do it. What else? Some people just like to take walks. Some people like to work out, right? But whatever it is that you have to do, I would definitely challenge everyone out there and definitely encourage everyone out there. Matter of fact, take away the challenge, but encourage everyone out there to try to find that inner peace within yourself, and try to find that sense of like relief or whatever, release or relief or whatever it is that you have to find. Because, it can honestly save a life. It can save your life, or it can definitely contribute to more of your freedom, because you just never know how you're going to react to something that may cause the people around you, including your life, to be affected majorly. Yeah. We are here to live, right? And we are here to live freely. So let's not, react in no way that we have to be locked up in a box or be secluded into a certain type of environment just because we're having issues with our emotions. So I definitely encourage people also to go out there. If you need to get counseling and you need to talk to people, talk, especially the guys, talk. Just talk to each other. Yes. Right? A lot of men bonding. Like it's really, really good. As you can see, society is changing. A lot of people are more doing things together, right?
Yeah, and they're more open to therapy,
creating that community.
Yes.
Right. Join a run group, join a walk group, right? Join a workout group.
Join Magnificent Wellness.
Join Magnificent Wellness. That's exactly what
Join us. Yes, we're here for you.
We are here, right? You're always welcome to the Wellness Lounge also to have a conversation. Because we want to know exactly what you guys want to know, right? And anything else you?
That's basically it. If you have any suggestions for us as far as what we should talk about, let us know.
Yes, what topics you want to see us discuss here on our podcast. We're open to that. You can always leave a comment. Yes. You can even DM us if you want to, whichever one you're comfortable with, and just letting us know. Also, stay tuned because I'm about to blow him up right now. But we're going to be setting up a community for men to come together and talk about these things, emotional regulation, all kind of things, therapy, coping skills, just for men. So our good guy over here, Robert, wants to set up that community. So stay tuned for that. We have some great things coming your way. So I'm excited. I'm excited
too. I'm excited. And thank you so much.
Of course. You humble, but we gotta get it out there. All right.
Absolutely. I love it. Right? And also throw back to you guys because they are going to be working on their women empowerment, retreats and things like that. So look out for that. Wellness retreat, Magnificent Wellness Retreats, and or just Magnificent Wellness Space, right? Just putting it together. My thing is for the males as well as I know for the ladies right here to do for the ladies is just creating a space that we all can come together and just be grown folks and have grown folk conversation and feel relief as we walk out the door and excited about coming back and having another conversation. So definitely, we want to definitely welcome you guys to that. You're always welcome. If you want to join us too and have a conversation, hey, let us know.
Yes.
Right? In the comments or the DMs, let us know. You want to stop in, you want to talk, let's do it. We're all ears, we're all open, and especially our ears and our hearts are open to you guys.
I like that.
We're Magnificent Wellness.
Yes.
And this is the Wellness Lounge.
Yes.
Where grown folks chill and enjoy the conversation.
Peace.
Bye-bye.